So can we beat the rain? Basically, in this garden today, we've got to put in an isolator for an air conditioning supply. And it's got to go through that wall. Get that geezer out of the way on the ladder to start with. I mean, this is just going to be a pilot hole. So I'm going through with like, what, a 10mm bit, I think this is. Get that out of the way. Here's a kit, don't get it covered in dust. And drill through to start with, so we can see exactly where it comes through on the other side. And then change my bit into a bit of a bigger one so it can get the armoured cable through. This is probably, what, 14mm, something like that. Just something so I can get a 4mm armoured through this hole to clip it along to the wall, right back to the fuse board. And this 36-volt Makita drill is still going strong. I've had it about 5 years. And then we'll go around the other side because this is that's the short run, that side. So I'm just going to poke this bit through enough for the isolator. And obviously reel this out to make sure it's long enough to start with. I measured it out. I always measure plenty, so I'm quite confident it will be enough. And that's just where the incomer supply is. So the other side of that is a fuse board. So look at that. There's going to be plenty on that. Nice. Better than being too short. And it's just going the other side of that wall. That's where the board is. So we've got the cable in now, but what wants to go on the end? This isolator. All air conditioning units have a rotary isolator. I think it's in the spec. So I've got this 62 amp rotary isolator, which conveniently, I did check, 32 amp, but basically the same size. So let's have a look what's in here. And obviously we've got an outdoor gland pack for this. So we're going to have to start getting some more tools out here. What am I looking for? Something in there, a Stanley knife, I bet. Or something to basically get a 20mm hole in the bottom of the box. And yeah, Stanley knife. See, open this up. So then now we can fix the gland pack onto the isolator before we fix it to the wall. And this is where my little CK hole saw bits come in handy. These are wicked hole saw, not even CK, sorry, they're Starrett, aren't they? Well, they've got a 20mm Starrett one in there, got 20, 25 and 32, I think. Fantastic little things, gone from a show. Bit of a big case for them, but it will do. So lock and load the drill, get it in the impact driver. And there we go. We've just got to figure out where we're going to go. We'll go into the bottom, of course. So we've got two 20mm holes in the bottom. One coming in, one coming out. One will be a stuffing gland because that's just going to the air conditioning unit. And the other one will be for the armoured. So we're going to get this armoured into the stuffing the isolator. And put it all back. Obviously the hole saw. So it keeps it nice and neat for when I go to look for it again in the same place. So that is where my cable entries are going to be. So I'm going to stick the first part of the gland into the isolator now, because all it's got is the first half with the lock nut and the banjo. I'll put the banjo on there anyway. I'll probably gland it at the board end because it will just be easier. It's in a metal board and there'll be too much. Well, there is enough room in that isolator, but you only need to do one end. There's no point in doing it in there as well. But that little ring that just fell out, make sure you don't lose that if you do the same as this, because if you don't lose that and you can try to tighten it up, it's not going to tighten it up onto the armoured of the steel wired armoured, of the stranded steel. You know what I mean? That bit in there. So we've got to make sure we do this nice and tight, because then it'll stay nice and tight forever. And then what I'm going to need is a little drill bit, because I need to drill some small holes in the back where I'm going to fix it to. So another drill. Obviously we have so many tools as electricians, as any tradesman, to be honest. So lock and load this one in another drill, because these drill bits don't fit in the impact driver. So we've got to drill a small hole in the back of these boxes, just so I can level it up and then mark it out on the wall exactly where I'm going to drill the hole to fix it. But before I actually fix the isolator to the wall, I want to make off the armoured so that can go straight in. I'm a bit flippant around here, but I just want to get it done as soon as possible, because I know there's a cloud over my head and it's going to rain. And I've been spending too much time talking to the air conditioning guy that he's putting it in, because we're jabbing away. So let's make off the armoured just enough with the shroud to put straight into the isolator when it's fixed to the wall. And if I start with sticking the shroud over it, ready for that to go in, and then the armoured bit as well. This is like a BW gland, so it's an outside gland and it can go over. So that bit's put out of the way, so I'm not going to lose the armoured gland. So now I've got to drill the holes for the isolator, and I've marked these with the marksman. You can see my little chalk's gone through there, and obviously 4 holes I want to go in with this SDS drill, because my drill bits that are on the impact driver just don't want to cut it through this brick. So I'm using the decent SDS drill. I've got it out anyway, so I can put a 5.5 red plug in there and fix the isolator back to the wall. And I've got a new little habit. Basically, I'm sticking a bit of CT1 in these raw plug holes before I put the raw plug in. I just want it to be sealed nice and watertight. It's not something you have to do before you put the raw plugs in, because the raw plugs will fix in there perfectly, they'll be fine. But I don't know, I'm a freaking geek. So I get my hammer as well and tap them in. And for a little bit more of extra measure, stick a bit more silicone or CT1 around these raw plugs, because when it fixes back, there's no way that water's going to get in there and corrode it. This isolator is going to be here forever. So then all we want to do is fix the isolator to the wall. The bleeding heating engineer there, he got a bit of free advertising on the back of his top. Call him if you want an aircon supply in. So then we've got to just get them started. I'll get the screw started in there and then stick my level on it and bang it straight back to the wall. So then I know it's nice and level. And the rain has started to come now. I'm getting a little bit wet. I want to make this armoured off. There we go. Pull that off. Give it a bit of a wiggle. So this is the armour that it's going to grab onto and obviously earth on the gland. So we'll poke that back through the hole because we don't need all of this. And we're going to get it up into the isolator where this is the supply. So we want it to loop round nice and neat. There's plenty in there. This is going to go into the top. The supply will always go into the top of any rotary isolator. I'll say not, I don't know. But for me, I always put it in the top, because in theory wise I think it's fed from the top. So then we'll do that up just with your fingers. Just has to be finger tight, it's fine, don't do it any harder. I'm only joking. Obviously get your grips and tighten it up FT. Make sure it's nice and tight so that's never going to come out, and also make sure that it grips the armoured on the actual cable. And then once that's nice and tight, stick the shroud on as well, just to make it a bit more, well, it looks a bit nicer, and obviously it's going to be weather better with the shroud on there. That's exactly why armoured cables have a shroud, to keep them from getting corroded, I suppose, in the weather. That's a good idea. So you stick it right up nice and tight to the isolator. And this is where my Stanley comes in handy as well. There's plenty of cable through there, so I'm just going to score it slightly, lightly. Don't score the cables inside, just to get this off, because then obviously I can split it up and terminate into the top of the isolator. But we will also need to tidy the cable going back towards the fuse board. So I've got these D-line clips, and I think they're spot on. They look nice and neat, easy to smash into the wall to keep that cable nice and neat and level.
Stick it out in the rain, it'll be
alright. Quite good. Better than the cleats you can get where you got to screw in a raw plug. I just think they look nicer. So nice, in fact, that this is exactly what I'm going to use while I was fixing it all the way back to the fuse board, exactly on the house. And I'll drill in between on the mortar of the bricks. Another reason, because these D-line clips, you don't need to put plugs in. You just fold them over. If you drill the right size hole, which I think I drilled an 8mm hole for these, and you can just bang them along and they hold the cable on lovely and tight. And nice and neat as well. Just looks a little bit better. Yes, that is straight. If you're looking at that thinking it's not even straight, yeah, it is. I'm tapping them in to make sure it's nice and neat. There we go. Look, I tidied it up. Just left them in loose to start with. Perfect. Now I head back to the other end, because there's no point in putting it inside the fuse board if you can't liven it up. So what I'm going to do, I'm putting this flex that is going into the bottom of the isolator, which will go to the air conditioning unit once that heating engineer guy pulls his finger out and puts it in. And I'm just doing it to the top of this isolator, and I've used tape to identify the neutral as blue, because this armoured cable has brown, black and grey. So my grey I do use as a neutral, the black I'll use as the earth, and then brown's the live, obviously. And I'm using this G-Wiz or G-Swiss, whatever isolator, because it's got plenty of room inside. And you can loop your cables around. Any isolator I do, I like to leave plenty in there, because you never know, things can change, can get burnt out, they can overload them, you never know. And then to switch it on. So 16 amp and a BG board, And I didn't film me putting it into the board because it was in the customer's house and he had his little one in there with him. I thought it was just rude. So I am ready to test it, basically. Put it on. I want to loop the test to make sure that my supply is good. And obviously record my readings of 0.36. What we've got there. Spot on. That'll do. Close it up. Go home.